Hi, welcome to ShowMeTheCurry.com. I'm Hital.
I'm Anuja, and today we're going to show you how to make Mexican lasagna. It's again one of those wonderful dishes which is like packed with flavor and very simple to make, so let's get started.
So here are 3 vegetables we're going to use for our lasagna. We have green bell peppers, red bell peppers, and onions. We're using about one large each of the bell peppers and 1 large onion. And what we've done is we've sliced it. And these bell peppers were sliced, but they were really long, so we want them bite-sized, so we cut them down into 3s. So here these are.
Yeah, but you can always add on additional vegetables if you like. You can add on mushrooms or
zucchini.
Yeah,
zucchini, yellow
yes.
squash.
So
a lot of different options.
Right. So we've got the pan over there. We're going to add in 1 tablespoon of oil, and once it's hot, we're going to just quickly saute these vegetables
on a high heat.
1 tablespoon of oil, onions, and the bell peppers. Give it a good mix. 1 tablespoon of taco seasoning or to taste. So we're just going to look for a little bit of caramelization on the top, but yet be crunchy on the inside. Okay, this looks done. We're going to turn off the stove. And at this point, we can add in just a tiny bit of salt. Now the taco seasoning has some salt in it. Be very, very conservative with the salt. And we don't put it early on because we don't want the vegetables to let water go and mix.
We'll take the veggies out into another dish so that it stops the cooking.
So now we're going to start the layering process. We're first going to go over what all we're going to use for the layering. So first we're going to start with an oven-proof dish. It's about approximately a 9x5. I think works perfectly for a family of 4. I'm going to first grease it.
So now we're going to go over all the layers, different layers. So of course we have our fajita style veggies, which we just did. We have refried beans here. Now we have a recipe for this on the website. Just look for refried beans. So we have about a can of that. We have 1 can of black beans. These we've drained out and we rinsed them through so they're nice and dry and clean. And we also have cheese. You can use any cheese you want. We're using Colby and Jack mixture, but cheddar cheese also works really well. And of course we have olives. These are optional, but they taste really good.
So we have approximately 12 tortillas, corn tortillas over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut them through the center so that it layers well. And what we're going to do is we're going to start by layering this. And we're just going to layer it so it forms a nice layer at the bottom. So this is basically replacing your lasagna noodles.
And it's okay to overlap them also. Now if you don't have a pan that's exactly this size, that's okay too.
Yeah.
You might have a little variation in how many corn tortillas you need to actually fill the bottom and layer, but it'll all work.
So here you go. And I'm just going to lightly coat it with a little bit of oil.
And the reason we're doing this is it's corn tortillas and we're going to be putting a lot of wet ingredients on it, and it's going to be baked, so we don't want it to absorb into the corn tortillas, so you get nice layers that way.
And it doesn't get soggy at the bottom.
Right. So whatever beans that we have, we're going to divide them into 3 portions. And one of the portions...
Okay, and I'm going to help you because refried beans, yeah, they move. And next we're going to put 1/3 of the veggies. All right.
There we go. We have our black beans.
This is again for texture and of course proteins. It's good for you.
Looks pretty too. And we have cheese. Now cheese is entirely up to you. We can't live without cheese. I can't live without cheese. So we put a lot of cheese, but you can put as much or as little as you like. Okay.
And we're going to layer it with another layer of tortillas. Again, the same way. And just press it down a little bit so everything packs into place. Just gently push it down. course, if you want to spice up things a little, you can also add in jalapenos in there.
Yeah.
You can also add in extra taco seasoning or red chili flakes. You know, choices, there's plenty of choices. And we're going to add another light coating of oil. So basically we're going to do exactly the same thing. Again, 1/3 of everything.
So we're at our final layer now. That's the last layer of tortillas. Just sprinkle some cheese over the top. And this just makes a nice little coating layer on top. It's really nice.
Not to forget the yum factor. And we're going to put the balance of the black beans. They just look pretty on top. You should always save a little for the top, the garnish.
And we have a couple of slices of fresh jalapeno. It's optional, but it looks pretty. It gives a little kick.
And we're going to put a little bit of black olives on top.
So we have our oven already preheated at 375 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's hot and it's ready for us to put this in.
And you know, usually we use a different dish for this one, this particular dish. So it's a little deeper, so everything goes in. But this is the only one we had with glass, and we wanted to show you the layering. So we use this. So it's pretty much gone to the top. But here's a great tip: like anytime you have to cover it with foil, and it's so high up, and you know you're scared that it's going to get stuck to the foil. All you do is just take your can of spray, miracle spray, and just lightly coat it. So now when we put it in the oven and we bake it, the cheese and all the food is not going to get stuck to the foil. And we're going to cover it, and we're going to bake it for 35 minutes in the oven. And after 35 minutes, we'll open up the foil and we'll put it on a broil and let it just, you know, get a little color from the top for about 5 minutes, just so that it gets a wonderful color. That's about it.
So our lasagna is out of the oven. It baked for exactly 35 minutes, and then we switched the oven off and turned the broiler on, moved it up to the top rack, and let it go for about 2 or 3 minutes. Now, depending on how close your element is to your pan, it'll depend on, you know, how many minutes it takes to actually make this nice brown coating. So this is just perfect right now.
Yeah, and then we took it out and we let it sit for 5 minutes. Now it is very important to let it sit before you start eating it, because the cheese is there and you're going to burn yourself, and just let things settle a little bit, and then feel free to dig in.
It also makes the pieces kind of hold together too if you wait a little bit. Wow, perfect.
Excellent.
Okay.
Yes. So
My fine looking piece.
Right. So what we usually do is we slice some green fresh lettuce, put it on top with some sour cream, some salsa, and some cilantro, and you got yourself a great meal.
It's a one pot meal, because you don't need anything else with this, and you'll be satisfied, you'll be full, and it's so hearty and so super delicious.
Right. Now this particular dish we have made vegetarian for our preference, but it is so easy to make it into a non-vegetarian dish. So all you carnivores out there, please, you know, just all you have to do is either saute some chicken slices and do the same thing. But you can use onions, or you don't have to use onions, and just saute it in the oil. But some taco seasoning, just give it a little, the chicken cooks really fast, and just layer it up like the same way instead of vegetables. And also you can do the same thing for beef. Now you can use beef, ground beef, and again saute it in the oil, let it brown up, add some taco seasoning, and replace it. Very easy to do, and still delicious.
So enjoy this delicious Mexican lasagna, and join us again on another episode of ShowMeTheCurry.com.
Adding a pinch of spice to your life.